President Obama, as we know, signed that stimulus plan into law last week. It's a done deal. But listening to this advertisement, it sounds like the debate might still be going on.
Congress just spent nearly $800 billion of your money. How much is that? Well, suppose you spent $1 million every single day starting from the day Jesus was born and kept spending through today. $1 million a day for more than 2,000 years. You would still have spent less money than Congress just did. So what did you get? Economists say most of the money won't help this year. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says the plan will actually hurt the economy in the long run. And what about the billions wasted on pork and pet projects? Congressional liberals say.
Let me say this to all of the chattering class that so much focuses on those little tiny, yes, porky amendments. The American people really don't care.
Is this change you can believe in? Tell Congress to stop the wasteful spending.
All right, so why? Why bring up this whole argument now after the fact? Well, joining us from St. Louis to talk about it, the president of the group that's placing that ad, Ed Martin. Ed, sir, thank you for being here. So like we've been saying here, the bill has been signed, the money is about to start going out. So what's the point, I guess, of arguing the merits of the bill if it's a done deal?
Well, thanks for having me, TJ. This is really not only about the stimulus. This is about what the stimulus has begun. I mean, over the weekend, we heard that we now have to pass health care quickly. We heard today that Citibank is going to need more money. And under the guise of rushing to do things, we have spent $800 billion. And it's really, if we continue the way we're going, it is the end of American capitalism, and it's a threat to our country going forward.
So you're making an example out of this bill for future debates that we know are coming.
Right, and also, you know, the president has said he wants to reopen the stimulus or has some problems with provisions, and some have said that. So what we're trying to do is fire up the imagination of the American people to have them engage on this, because it's not simply a building projects. It's not simply infrastructure. The $800 billion is a vast change in how America operates.
All right, so you are admittedly a conservative group, but not necessarily a religious group, so why'd you have to throw Jesus in there?
Well, TJ, it's not about religion at all. In fact, we had to use a way to count back and, again, to capture people's imagination. It worked to go back to the calendar that we all use. I will tell you, if you add in spending $1 million a day into the interest and other payments that the stimulus cost, you get back to about the time that Stonehenge was built. So if you want a marker there. But what we found is that it does fire up the imagination of people. People have reacted to the ad, and we've had thousands of people text a message to our text site. If you want to text and say enough, just simply text the word enough to 97180, and you can get updates and get fired up because people are upset.
Shameless plugging. It happens. That's okay. At least you can admit it. It was shameless. All right.
I admit it. I admit it.
All right. But don't you see this as a bit, certainly, of an uphill climb, given that people in states, people in communities, people's families in their homes are struggling right now, and you come out, this group comes out, kind of bashing, and yes, the process maybe, but still bashing the stimulus itself, which many people still think should be a good thing for them and their communities. Don't you have an uphill climb to kind of maybe turn people's opinions against something that they really think they need?
Well, I disagree with you on what people think they need. I think you and I can agree, and most viewers can agree, that America is in a recession and has problems. But I think that most people don't know what's in the stimulus bill. I mean, the Congressional Budget Office, bipartisan, they said it is not going to help the economy. And Senator Schumer admits that it's full of pork. So what we have is an $800 billion transfer of wealth, changing America drastically, and we need to have people know about it, and we think this ad is helping them.
All right, and last thing here, and you brought up Senator Schumer there, and that soundbite, that bit of his speech there on the floor got a lot of attention, saying there are a lot of porky amendments in here, a lot of porky things, small things. The American people don't care. Well, he went on to say from that American people care far more about other proposals in the bill. They care more about the $2,500 credit to families who pay tuition. They care more about these other things and these small provisions. So it's more context to what he was saying. So Do you want to put it in greater context, or do you want to just focus on that one little bit there that you cut off?
Well, you're in TV. You know that you catch people's attention with a phrase and with the use of something. But what Senator Schumer was admitting was that the stimulus bill started out with good intentions to help people in need, and it turned into a huge transformation. Again, I'd argue if we continue down the road that we were doing with the stimulus, we are ending American capitalism and challenging the future of America. So his overall message may have been something that he would like to spin differently, but what I see it as is he is admitting that the stimulus bill became a vehicle for liberal special interest groups to transform America, and that's what I don't think the people know, and frankly, the senators and congressmen and women voted without reading that bill, without really understanding it, and we're only finding out now what the impact's going to be. And so the people are getting fired up, and they're worried, and I think they have reason to.
Well, yeah, 1,100 pages, as you said. Admittedly, they didn't read it. Came out on a Thursday night. They had 1,100 pages to read by Friday afternoon, and they admitted they did not read it, so you're right on there. Ed Martin, again, it gets people's attention, that ad, no doubt about it. Glad we could bring you on to talk about it. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks, TJ.